This video is brought to you by Mint Mobile. So it's going to be a comparison between the Google Pixel 8 Pro versus the Google Pixel 7 Pro. I've been using the Pixel 8 Pro for just about a week now, so I wanted to compare it to last year's to see if it's really worth upgrading from the Pixel 7 Pro to the Pixel 8 Pro, and also if you're deciding between the two, should you spend the extra money and get the 8 Pro, or should you save some money and get the 7 Pro? Let's talk about it. So first, the pricing. The 7 Pro started at a price of $899, so $900 USD, versus the 8 Pro starts at a price of $999, so $1,000 USD. So it did go up $100, and right now there's deals with Black Friday, so knowing how low they go is good to know as well. So even though this video is going to come out after the fact of these deals, they might still be going on, or later in the year, going into 2024, they might come down to these prices again. So the Pixel 7 Pro brand new costs $650, and the Pixel 8 Pro costs $799, so $100. So it's a $150 difference right now if I were to purchase them brand new. So keep that $150 or so of difference in pricing. But talking about the design, the Pixel 7 Pro and the 8 Pro look very similar from afar. There's small, subtle differences you'll notice. The big one you'll first notice is definitely that the Pixel 7 Pro uses a glossy finish to the glass versus the 8 Pro now has a satin matte finish, and it feels pretty nice. I still think it's pretty slippery overall, but a little bit less slippery than the 7 Pro, so I personally would still always recommend any kind of case. The next thing you'll notice is that the 7 Pro does have a bit more of a sharper corner, a more aggressive rounded corner, versus the 8 Pro, it's a little bit more rounded off, a little bit more curved off, so it looks a little bit less boxy compared to the 7 Pro. The other thing you'll notice is that the camera bump looks just slightly different only because on the 8 Pro it's now a whole piece of glass that shows all cameras versus the Pixel 7 Pro, it has a little piece of aluminum frame that splits up the wide and the ultra wide with the telephoto. And you'll also notice another sensor on the Pixel 8 Pro, which is the temperature sensor that they added. I also noticed that the Pixel 8 Pro does have a slightly bigger and raised up camera bump, so it's just a little bit thicker. Not that you'll really notice a big difference in actual everyday usage, but it's something that I did notice. I also noticed that the Pixel 8 Pro does have the aluminum frame just a little bit thicker on the sides, versus on the Pixel 7 Pro, it's just a little bit thinner. And the only other difference will be the fact that the Pixel 8 Pro does use Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 versus Corning Gorilla Glass Victus on the Pixel 7 Pro. Both phones are still IP68 water industrial resistant rated as well. But in the hand, I'd say both feel about the same as far as weight, as far as comfortable. They're both big phones as well, so if you're not a fan of big phones, obviously these won't be your cup of tea. But I'd say both of them are overall pretty comfortable, and like I said earlier, I'd still recommend a case because they still feel just a hair bit slippery. And the cases I've been using is the dBrain grip case and then some Taurus case from Amazon. As far as the buttons and the ports, both of them still have USB-C at the bottom. You have dual firing speakers on both of them. Now at the bottom you do have two speakers on both, but only one does all the output, so if you cover up one of them, potentially you won't be actually covering up the actual speaker. Overall sound quality, I'd say it's pretty similar. I felt like maybe the Pixel 8 Pro had a little bit more fullness to it when the bass hits and stuff, but really I didn't notice a massive difference. I still think they're not gonna blow you away like compared to say like an iPhone, but they still get the job done for watching content, for listening to music every now and then. But I feel like you might find yourself raising the volume up more than you usually do on another device. Both of them have the power button and the volume rocker on the right hand side, with the volume rocker being right below the power button, and they just slightly move the buttons down just ever so slightly. Again, probably related to the cases so they can make new cases and sell new cases. And I also noticed that they made the design also glossy on the buttons versus on the Pixel 7 Pro, they had like a matte look to them. Both of them also still have the physical SIM card slot on the left hand side, so you can insert a physical SIM card as well as also use eSIM if you wanted to. And I usually don't talk too much about Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff, but this year I've noticed a bit of an issue with the Pixel 8 Pro, and I also checked back on the Pixel 7 Pro, and it happens occasionally as well, so it might just be actually a bug related to just the Pixels in general, but I find my Wi-Fi just disconnecting at random multiple times. It'll say the connection is weak, but then when I check my other devices, my other phones or other random devices that are connected to Wi-Fi, they have no issues. So I'm not sure, like actually right now as we're talking, it literally just switched to my data because it just lost connection to the Wi-Fi. And if I check the settings, it's probably gonna say that it's, yeah, right now it says my Wi-Fi is low quality. I'm not sure if it'll focus on it, but it's saying the Wi-Fi is low quality, and so it disconnected from it. So that's kind of annoying. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Like right now, the Pixel 7 Pro is connected to Wi-Fi, but the Pixel 8 Pro is not. And I don't know if it's just a bug. I mean, it has to be a bug. It has to be a bug with the Pixels in general, and not with the actual Wi-Fi connection. So hopefully it's not hardware related, because if it is, that's gonna be a disappointing and bummer. But if it is just something that can be fixed through software, that'd be great. On top of that, I've also noticed that when I'm listening to music via like Bluetooth earbuds, when I go to lift up my device and turn it on to either use the phone or maybe even interact with the playback media controls, sometimes there's a skip or like a pause in the music, like it just wants to like reconnect, disconnect, or something happens. It's very brief and very quick, but I do notice it, and I've never noticed that with other devices either. And I don't remember that being an issue with the Pixel 7 Pro, but I could be wrong, and it may have happened and I just blushed over it. But thankfully my mobile data and phone service has been nothing but good, and that's thanks to today's video partner, Mint Mobile. If you ever thought to yourself, why the is my phone bill so damn high? Well, let me tell you about Mint Mobile. You might already know Mint Mobile through some of my videos, or if you've seen some of the ads with Ryan Reynolds, he's one of the owners. But let me tell you a little bit about Mint Mobile and what they offer. Mint offers premium wireless for as low as $15 a month, and you don't have to sacrifice speed, coverage, or data, because they're built on the largest 5G network. And they're able to keep costs so low because they do everything online. You buy online, you set up online, and you're ready to go from the comfort of your home. You're able to set yourself up with an eSIM or a physical SIM card if your phone isn't eSIM compatible. In fact, that's what I've been doing with the Pixel 8 Pro. I have a physical SIM card inserted into the device. All Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, lightning fast 5G, and a free mobile hotspot. I've been switched to Mint Mobile for the last 2.5 years, so every phone that you see on this channel or every review that I've done have all been on the Mint Mobile network. I've been able to do my everyday stuff, including phone calls and text messaging, watching videos, playing games, browsing the internet, and browsing social media, and I don't notice a difference in the speed or the performance. Mint also offers a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. In fact, my whole family is currently switched over to Mint Mobile. And switching over to Mint is super easy as well. It takes as little as 15 minutes to pay as low as $15 a month. And for the holidays, now through January 1st, you'll receive an additional 3 months free if you purchase any 3-month plan, including the unlimited plan. So if you want to make the switch, use my link down in the description, trymintmobile.com/tacotech, or scan the QR code on the screen right now to get yourself started. It really does help out the channel when you use my links, so let me know down in the comments if you made the switch to Mint. And both phones have really good haptics. I honestly love the haptics coming from the Pixel devices. I couldn't tell a difference between them, so whichever one you get, you'll be more than satisfied with the haptics. I usually turn the haptics down all the way down to like 25% or so for most of my phones, if I'm able to. But with the Pixels, I'm usually keeping these to like 75 up to 100% as far as the intensity, because they feel very nice when I'm typing on a keyboard. The Pixel 8 Pro also has the temperature sensor in the camera bump, and as far as my usage with it, it's literally never. I never have used it since I got it. I mean, I'd used it when I first got it just to test it out, but besides that, in my day-to-day life, there's never a time that I was like, oh, I thank God I have the temperature sensor because I can use it to test the temperature of this thing. I honestly am gonna easily forget about it. As far as the displays, both of them are 6.7 inch in size, and both of them have a LTPO AMOLED 120Hz, just about 1440p on the Pixel 8 Pro and then 1440p on the Pixel 7 Pro, with a high brightness mode of I think 1000 nits on the Pixel 7 Pro and then 1500 peak brightness on the Pixel 7 Pro. Versus on the Pixel 8 Pro, it goes up to 1600 for high brightness mode, and then I believe 2400 for peak brightness, which is insane on the spec sheet. It looks like big numbers. And the resolution, yes, it did go down a little bit in the resolution as far as the numbers go and the pixel density for the Pixel 8 Pro, which I didn't notice a massive difference. What I did notice that I think comes into play with the resolution is the display size and text and zoom. If you put them on the exact same settings on both phones, you'll notice that the Pixel 8 Pro is just a little bit more zoomed out, a little bit maybe smaller in the size and the text, so maybe that resolution does affect that, but that's the only other thing I noticed. But besides that, both of them are great quality displays as far as how colors look, how the actual experience is. Both of them are going to be great displays for your everyday stuff, for watching movies, watching videos on YouTube. Where you may also see a change in the experience as well is the fact that the Pixel 7 Pro is also still a curved edge display, which I personally didn't really mind, but What I did mind was the fact that I couldn't easily install any kind of screen protector. Usually you have to get like a film type to be able to install it on a curved edge display, or get a more expensive screen protector, which I wasn't gonna bother paying for. Versus with the Pixel 8 Pro, I could get a pack of 3 for like $8 that are some cheap tempered glass that all I care about is protecting the display from small minor scratches, because the Pixel 7 Pro is filled to the brim with those scratches because I didn't install any kind of screen protector on it. And the bezels don't really bother me too much on either. I think the Pixel 8 Pro might have a more uniform bezel size around the whole display, versus the Pixel 7 Pro does have a slightly thicker chin and maybe even a slightly thicker top bezel. And both have a singular camera cutout at the top, which doesn't really get in the way at all. As far as brightness, on paper, the Pixel 8 Pro just smokes the Pixel 7 Pro. But in real day life, when you're indoors, I personally don't notice a massive difference. Yes, you can notice a difference. The Pixel 8 Pro just looks a slightly bit brighter, but you'll notice the difference more when you're outdoors in a sunny, bright environment. Then you'll notice the Pixel 8 Pro definitely is quite a bit brighter. Both displays also offer a always-on display, which you can't really customize too much, but it's definitely there if you want to use it. As far as biometrics, both of them offer facial recognition as well as a built-in fingerprint sensor. The facial recognition is supposedly improved in the security with the Pixel 8 Pro, but I personally find both of them to perform the same. So if you have your phones at a weird angle or far away, they don't always recognize you. Or if you're in a very low light situation, then again, the phone won't recognize you. There's also been a situation where I sometimes notice that if I have my glasses on and then I also close my eyes, sometimes both of them will recognize me and unlock the device, which it shouldn't, because there is a setting that I have turned on which requires the eyes to be opened. Now, if I have my glasses off, that's never an issue. So I'm not sure if maybe it's a reflection or something that's causing it to think that my eyes are open, but I don't have this issue with Face ID or even the S23 Ultra. But the Pixel 8 Pro's facial recognition now is able to use for any application that requires a secure biometric, such as banking apps. As far as the built-in fingerprint sensor, it's still an optical on both of them, and it performs about the same with me. It doesn't really feel improved. The animation speed is about the same. The reliability is about the same. So to me, it's about the same. Doesn't matter which one you have or which one you get. If you already have the Pixel 7 Pro, it's going to be the same experience when it comes to the fingerprint sensor. I personally haven't had much of an issue with them, unless you're spamming it too fast, and yeah, it's not going to recognize you because it does require you to keep it on for just a little bit longer than, say, a ultrasonic one. As far as performance, the Google Pixel 7 Pro does have the Google Tensor Chip G2 with 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM and 128 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage up to, I believe, a terabyte. Whereas the Pixel 8 Pro does have the new Google Tensor Chip G3 as well as 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM and 128 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage up to a terabyte. On paper, it's supposed to be just slightly more powerful, slightly more efficient, but in reality, I find that both of them perform good enough. I find that the Pixel 7 Pro still sometimes has the occasional hiccup, and same thing with the Pixel 8 Pro, you'll encounter the occasional delay and glitch every now and then, and maybe a bug in the software as well that causes the performance to look a little bit off, but I still think for the average user, for the basic user, you'll be more than satisfied with the performance coming out of both of them. The only thing you will have to keep in mind is definitely how warm the devices can get. I find that both of them tend to get warmer compared to other devices that I own. The Pixel 7 Pro, yeah, it got warmer compared to the Pixel 6 Pro, but it definitely, controls that heat a little bit better. The Pixel 8 Pro, on the other hand, I find that it's about the same. You sometimes feel like it's getting pretty warm, but I never felt that I got to the point that it was too hot to be able to use it. So for me, the performance has been pretty good on both of them and not a massive jump from the 7 Pro to the 8 Pro. On paper, like I said, yes, I notice a difference, but for me personally, in my everyday experience, everyday usage, both phones perform well. Both phones are snappy and reliable thanks to that 120 Hz as well. Things look pretty good, and the animations look pretty clean as well, mixing with the software. So overall, my experience has been nothing but good. Playing games has been pretty decent as well. If you want to get the best performance out of a game, set the settings to the max of everything, then neither of these devices will be the ones you want to go with. Even if you get the Pixel 8 Pro, yes, you may get a slightly better frame rate or slightly better, more performance out of a game or something, but you probably won't be getting too much of a difference or a big jump from the Pixel 7 Pro. You might want to consider something else, such as like something that has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or even an iPhone. So talking about the software, both of them are running the latest Android 14 with the latest Pixel launcher experience. I personally don't notice a massive difference as well from the 7 Pro to the 8 Pro. There's a couple things that are kind of being blocked from the Pixel 7 Pro to the 8 Pro, mainly just to make it seem like it's an upgrade in the settings and the features and whatnot. But in reality, if you're not going to use those features and settings, then you're really not missing out on much and really have the same experience on both devices. The core experience is the same on both of them. The lock screen, you have the customization on both of them. They've added now the ability to set a different kind of clock style instead of having the same generic clock style that everyone would have. You can also change up the shortcuts just a little bit, being able to switch it up from a couple different settings. I think it's like 9 different things, so it's not every single app that you have downloaded, unfortunately. On the home screen, again, similar settings, similar features. You have your app search bar at the bottom that you can't remove. You have your at a glance widget at the top that you can't remove. You do have Material You on both of them, and they both function the same. You're able to use the colors from your wallpaper to uniquely customize your UI to match those colors from your wallpaper, and it looks clean, the aesthetic is nice, and they make the whole UI experience somewhat padded looking to be able to utilize and showcase and show off the colors that you selected from your wallpaper. And that's pretty much it with the home screen. There's not much you can really do with them. They don't have stackable widgets, there's no customizable icons, it's all very simple. And quick settings and notifications work pretty much exactly the same. First swipe brings down the notifications, second swipe brings down the quick settings, so it functions the same. You have your notifications, which are organized from silent notifications to priority notifications, such as messages, and then swiping down with your quick settings, you can organize it however you want and choose what kind of quick settings you want to access on your first swipe and whatnot. You have your media player at the bottom if you're listening to music, and you have access to the power button controls and also your brightness slider at the very top. I do wish they would bring down that brightness slider down to the bottom or give you an option to toggle it between the bottom or the top, because it's a little bit high up for me to reach. It's a little bit annoying, especially when you have the Pro series of devices. It's a big phone and it's hard to reach sometimes with one hand. And then swiping up, you do have the app drawer on both of them. Again, not much of a difference there. You can't really do anything with the app drawer, no creating folders, no changing the way it's organized or the way the list is made. It's just all your apps in one place. So that's your core functionality of features with both of them. Exactly the same. You're not going to see any kind of difference between them. So if the core functions and settings is the most important thing to you, you're not going to see a difference from the 7 Pro to the 8 Pro. And both of them have the same Google ecosystem capabilities, whether it be Google Messages, Google Meet, Google Nearby Share, Google Find My, all those basic stuff will be found on both of them. You can also do stuff with connecting with your actual Google hardware, so both of them will work just fine with the Pixel tablets if you're able to be even connected together, your Google Home Control stuff, Pixel watches, Google earbuds, all that stuff works just fine on both of them. And both of them have the exact same multitasking capabilities as well. You have to go into the recent apps, select an app, and then select another app in the recent apps to go into split screen mode. And that's pretty much it. It's very simple, but also very limiting because you can't do much with it. I wish they added some kind of other app that allows you to quickly drag and drop apps to go into split screen mode. Just going to the recent app menu is just a pain in the butt, in my opinion, because you have to make sure those apps are open before you go there to start split screening, because otherwise you can't go home and select another app once you start going into split screen mode. It's really annoying and really dumb. I don't really split screen at all with either of these devices. But you do have picture-in-picture, which allows you to easily just watch YouTube or something while you're also browsing another app. And both of them offer certain AI features. There's a handful of them that are available on both of them, and there's a couple of new ones that are only available on the 8 Pro. To be honest with you, I don't care for them. I am never going to use those new AI features that are available on the 8 Pro, so I'm honestly fine with the 7 Pro, and I shouldn't have even bought the 8 Pro because there's no way that it's going to make a difference in my day-to-day life experience. But first, let me tell you about the ones that I do care about and I do actually use, and that's going to be the phone call settings, the AI, the Google Assistant, helping you take care of spam calls and protecting you from being bothered from those random calls that you may get. It's super convenient to be able to set that up. You just turn on how much protection you want, and you let Google do the work. You just let the Google Assistant answer the phone for you, and if they want to continue talking to you, then eventually it'll ring your phone and they'll be able to actually talk to you. You can use screen calling, so if someone you do know, or if you don't turn on the actual answer for me feature, then you can screen call a phone number and see a text version of what they're saying. And once you feel like, oh, okay, this is something important, then you can actually answer the phone. But until then, you can just have the Google Assistant ask questions for them to actually respond to you, and you can see, like I said, their text response. There's other things such as enhanced speech to text. So both of them can recognize your speech very quickly and very easily and accurately. It's for the most part accurate. I find that with the way I speak, sometimes I may speak too fast or I may mumble my words, so it may not recognize everything that I say. I'm not sure if this is an AI specific feature, but you do have a translating feature that allows you to translate the text messages and some other things on your phone, on your screen, from one language to another language in case you are talking to someone that's bilingual or are bilingual yourself. But some other AI features that I have heard of that I know are on the 8 Pro but I don't really use are things like creating your own wallpaper. You can select some predefined prompts and customize the prompts in a way to be able to create a unique wallpaper. I'm going to stick to the human-made wallpapers. At least I think they're human-made from backdrops, but either way, it's something that's cool, but I'm really probably never going to ever utilize. And the other AI features are camera related and focused. And to be honest with you, I don't care about them. I'm not going to use them in my day-to-day life. So I really don't want to talk about them, but I got to let you know that they're there and what they're able to do. Pixel 7 Pro already has the Magic Eraser and Magic Editor. Basically allows you to remove certain subjects from, or any subject potentially from the photo that you took. But the Pixel 8 Pro takes it up a notch a bit, where it allows you to use a new AI editor where you can not only remove subjects, but also move them. So if you take an image of something and you want to move a certain subject from a different location to another location, it's supposed to be able to nicely, generatively fill in that gap that you leave and make it look like, you know, that image was taken as if it was taken how it is. It doesn't really work all the time. I guess it depends on the background of the image as well as the subject that you're moving. It is cool, but again, I'm never going to utilize it. Another thing I know that's new that actually I may try and utilize, but again, probably not, is the fact that you're able to audio enhance your videos. So if there's disturbing sounds, whether it be wind or other background noise behind you, you're able to use a new AI feature that allows you to remove those background noises and focus on just the main sound subject, which again is cool, but I'm not going to use it. So to me, the new AI features that they've introduced, while they are cool, I'm just not going to utilize them. So for me, the Pixel 7 Pro AI features are already fine, and I really don't even utilize all of them to their maximum capabilities. So it's not a massive improvement for me, but it may be for you. If those new AI features are pretty cool to you and you think that's something I'm definitely going to use in my day-to-day, then by all means, I think the 8 Pro has some pretty cool AI features. As far as software support, the Pixel 7 Pro is down to 2 more years of major OS updates and then 4 more years of security updates, versus the Pixel 8 Pro, since it's brand new, not only is it, a lot more updates, but they're also promised 7 whole years of major OS updates, which is massive. My biggest question is, will the Pixel 8 Pro hardware be able to withstand for 7 years? That's going to be tough. I already think it probably won't, especially that battery. I don't think it's going to survive for that long, but time will tell. And I kind of want to keep the Pixel 8 Pro for that long, but we'll see. We'll see what the Pixel 9 Pro comes in, and maybe they'll offer a better improvement and some other things that may make me want to switch. As far as the cameras, first the actual settings, the actual camera app. They've now added the ability for you to use Pro settings on the Pixel 8 Pro. It's not anything crazy like if it were a actual Blackmagic app potentially, but it does allow you to control a lot of Pro stuff. Do I care? No, but if you're a Pro user, then you might care about that and want those settings. But again, that's something that they could have easily allowed for the Pixel 7 Pro. It may still come. It probably won't because they want to make you upgrade, but I definitely think they could easily update the 7 Pro to allow those same settings and features. But as far as the actual photo quality and videos, personally, I think both of them are pretty decent, but I did notice a difference in the processing. So the videos, the photos look slightly different on the Pixel 8 Pro as far as the color. So I'm thinking you guys can decide on your own whether you like them or not. I like the way the Pixel 8 Pro is looking now compared to the Pixel 7 Pro. 7 Pro is still a really good camera system and camera quality. But I like the way it's looking better on the 8 Pro in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. You guys can decide on your own just by what you see. All this stuff is point and shoot. I didn't edit anything. I didn't add any additional settings. So you can decide on your own what you think of the cameras and which one you prefer. Now this is 4K 30 on the front camera of the Pixel 8 Pro versus the Pixel 7 Pro. With the light directly, or the sun I guess, directly hitting my face. So I'm being illuminated pretty well, I would say. How's the detail? And the skin color. Now the source of light behind me, you can see how it does, the high dynamic range. From the looks of it, it's doing pretty decent. Actually, it looks, I mean, to me, on the displays, it looks very similar. So I'm not seeing a massive difference. I think that what I'm seeing the most is a shift in the color. Similar to how it is on the back cameras, there's a little bit of a difference in the color, the way it's processing it. Pixel 8 Pro looks a little bit more natural looking. Pixel 7 Pro looks a little bit more, I want to say, orangey, warmer maybe? Yeah, not orangey, warmer, I should say. So now we're going into not a shaded area, so let's see how it does in this environment. And something actually I'm curious about, do they have autofocus on the front? Doesn't look like it. Man, maybe a little bit. Yeah, we're under a shaded area, a little bit of sun here and there, but. And also, how's the audio? It's rather windy right now, and I think it has speech enhancement turned on, so it should be hopefully being able to track my voice a little bit better so that it muffles the wind. But this also could be a good test for the new AI features for the Pixel 8 Pro, which we'll probably test later. But okay, this is the Pixel 8 Pro versus the Pixel 7 Pro in OLED situations. Right now it's actually kind of pitch black and we're walking towards a source of light, so hopefully the pitch black transitions into a more visible and usable lighting condition. So here we have a source of light. It's illuminating my face. How does it look? How is it looking? Is the Pixel 8 Pro an improvement on the Pixel 7 Pro? That's the big question. Another source of light over here. How does it do with the light behind me? I can tell you right now, the screen on the Pixel 8 Pro is dimmed down. I'm not sure if that's just to consume the heat. So it's hard to tell what the Pixel 8 Pro is really producing because it looks dark. So I can't really tell if it's because the screen's just dimmed down or if it's really filming a dark video. Okay. There's some light around me, but it's mostly dark at the moment, so yeah, curious to know how it performs. Let me know down what you guys think. So this is 4K on the Pixel 7 Pro versus the Pixel 8 Pro. And here we have the ultra wide at the moment. As you can see, how they compare in color and detail. Seems to be focusing on it. I know it's like different angles, but hopefully it's able to showcase the macro. So yeah, how's the stabilization of the ultra wides as we just walk here? And we're able to switch to a quick 1x. This is the main lens, 4K 30. From the camera view, I don't see much of a difference. Granted, right now the display is a bit dimmed down on the Pixel 8 Pro. The autofocus, how does it work? How's it doing? Pixel 7 Pro is struggling to focus on the subject, or it's a moving leaf, what I expect. Whoa. What I will say is the colors do look a bit better on the Pixel 8 Pro in my opinion. The Pixel 7 Pro is a little bit more saturated, a little bit more vibrant looking versus the Pixel 8 Pro. From the looks of it, they seem to be a bit more natural looking, which I would say is a dub. So I thought it's a good spot to test the telephoto here. So switching over to it. Both of them are now on the telephoto. And I think the main thing I'm seeing here, again, is just the color difference. From the screen, I'm not seeing much of a difference in like detail and such, but the colors seem to be just a slightly bit different. So it really would depend on what you prefer of the two. Zooming in all the way, you are capped out at a max of 20x, which doesn't look too hot on both, I will say. Again, the color looks a lot better in my opinion on the Pixel 8 Pro because it's a little bit more natural looking versus a little bit more saturated, more color popping out on the Pixel 7 Pro. I'd say 10x would be the maximum to go if you want to get some decent footage from the telephoto. So here we have the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 7 Pro in low light situations. So what you're seeing right now is a little bit of light, obviously coming from that source of light over there. So the first test here, you can see how the ultra wide does against some flares. And if we go to the main wide lens here, they honestly look pretty much the same, except for the color of the flare. It looks orange on the Pixel 7 Pro and then green on the Pixel 8 Pro. So that's interesting. But I think as far as the main lens here, from what I can see, it's looking good. It's looking detailed. Honestly, it looks the same on both of them from what I'm seeing on the screens here. Maybe a difference in color. Pixel 8 Pro looks a little bit more natural. As you can see in the greens and the reds there. It's not the brightest green, not the brightest red, but it looks slightly different. And something that I am curious about is, does it actually use the telephoto when you are, and then low light, oh, that's the wrong one, light situation. It does. If there's enough light, it's like it does. Seems to be struggling to focus on the Pixel 7 Pro properly. Oh, the color definitely looks a lot more realistic on the Pixel 8 Pro, I can tell you that. And the detail too, like, look at that. It just looks super smoothed out on the Pixel 7 Pro. Not much detail there. I wouldn't even say it's like over sharpening on the Pixel 8 Pro. I think it looks just fine. So one, I guess, section that it doesn't really do well, both the ultra wide and also the telephoto. I don't even think the telephoto is going to be used during pitch black situations here. So right now we're in very pitch black, so it's like to the point that I can barely see, and we've got the stars going, but that's about. It's a clear sky too. It's a clear sky. We got a little bit of light here coming from one of the rooms over there, but it's pretty much pitch black. And if I switch to the main lens here, did you notice a difference? Probably not really. The main lens is supposed to be the best in low light. It's supposed to give us the best light at least, and show us the most detail. From what I'm seeing here in the video, it's not looking too hot, but so you can tell me what you think of video in low light. Now this is like a very harsh test because it's like just out in the street. It's not really like in an environment where there's lights in some areas, but so yeah, let me know what you guys think of low light on the Pixel 7 Pro versus the Pixel 8 Pro. As far as battery life, the Pixel 8 Pro does have a 5,050 milliamp hour battery versus the 7 Pro that has just a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. And those 50 milliamps really come into play as far as the battery difference. I'm just kidding. The 8 Pro and the 7 Pro, honestly, to me, after a week with the Pixel 8 Pro, it feels the same. Now, it is a little bit premature to say that the battery life of the 8 Pro isn't any better because it's still probably adapting to my usage. It's still getting to know me, and I'm still getting to know it. So it's still hard to say. But right now, it feels about the same. I'm only able to get about roughly 12 to 14 or sometimes at max 16 hours of total usage of the battery life on both of them. I know if I unplug in the morning, I'm probably gonna have to plug back in maybe around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. just about making it before I have to go to bed. If I'm on my phone a little bit more heavily or using more intensive apps, then I'm probably gonna end up having to charge towards the afternoon. My screen on time definitely varies from day to day depending on what I'm doing, especially if I'm working. I'm on my phone a lot less, but I roughly get maybe 2 to 4 hours, 5 hours max of screen on time. As far as charging though, I did notice an improvement in the charging speeds. The 7 Pro, it's slow. It takes about 2 hours to fully charge the device from like 5% all the way up to 100%. So it definitely takes its time. Versus the 8 Pro, it took about an hour and 15 minutes max to fully charge from 5% to 100%. So they cut back about 30 to 45 minutes of charging time, which is massive if you ask me. It's no like OnePlus level or even S23 Ultra level of speeds, but it's definitely an improvement and it's much better than something like the iPhone. The 7 Pro is very similar to the iPhone, if not worse than the iPhone. The 8 Pro, it's an improvement. I think it's good. Both of them also still have reverse wireless charging and wireless charging as well, but personally I don't really use it, so I can't really speak too much on it. So at the end of the day, should you get the Pixel 8 Pro or the Pixel 7 Pro? I think it depends on how much of a difference there is in your region, in your country, wherever you're buying it from. If it's like $100 to $150 of a difference, I'd go for the Pixel 8 Pro. Anything more than that, and you're paying a lot more to try to upgrade to the Pixel 8 Pro, I would just get the Pixel 7 Pro at a cheaper price. But if you're thinking about upgrading, whether you should upgrade or not, I think it depends on if those new features, the new display, the new settings in the camera really matter to you, then maybe, but again, think about how much more you're paying. If the trade-in offer is insane, it's good, do it. But if not, I've seen the trade-in offers right now from the Google store in the US, Best Buy in the US, and they're not that great. I think you're gonna end up paying like $500 to $600 to get the phone. And if you're only paying maybe $200 or less to upgrade, then maybe. But otherwise, I definitely would wait another year before you actually upgrade. So with that being said, hopefully this was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.